Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder if giving money directly to families struggling to make ends meet could actually make people feel better, especially new mothers? Well, this new study dove deep into that very question. We all know becoming a parent is a huge life change, and it can be a mix of incredible joy and overwhelming stress. Imagine adding financial worries on top of that during pregnancy, or when you have a new baby. This study looked at a really interesting program in Flint, Michigan called RX Kids. Basically, RX Kids is a program that gives money directly to pregnant mothers and mothers of new babies. It is unconditional, meaning they get to spend it however they think is best. No strings attached. The researchers wanted to see if this cash support helped reduce anxiety in these mothers. They looked at mothers in Flint who were part of this program and compared them to mothers who weren't both before and after the program started. And in different locations. Now, how did they do this? They surveyed nearly 1,200 mothers using a well-known questionnaire called the GAD-7. Think of the GAD-7 as a quick checkup for anxiety. It asks how often someone has felt things like nervous, worried, or restless over the past 2 weeks. They use the differences method. This is a fancy way of saying they compared what happened to mothers in Flint during the program to mothers in Flint before the program. Then they compared that change to what happened to mothers outside of Flint during the same times. This helps them figure out if the program itself was the reason for any changes they saw. They also collected information about things like age, education, and income to make sure their comparisons were fair. So what did they find? The results were pretty striking. Mothers in Flint who were part of the RX Kids program reported significantly less moderate to severe anxiety. They also had lower average scores on the GAD-7, meaning less overall anxiety. Even specific symptoms like feeling nervous or worrying too much were reported less often by these mothers. When they looked at it in more detail, comparing mothers exposed to RX Kids to mothers in Flint who gave birth before the program, there was a really big drop in anxiety. They saw a 9.5 percentage point decrease in moderate to severe anxiety and a 13.5 percentage point decrease in feeling nervous. These are not small numbers when we're talking about people's mental well-being. The adjusted results, which take other factors into account, also showed some important findings. Being exposed to RX Kids was associated with a 10.0 percentage point decrease in moderate to severe anxiety. This is a clinically meaningful change, meaning it is likely to have a real impact on how people feel and function. More specifically, the program was linked to a significant decrease in mothers feeling afraid, as if something awful might happen, and also in mothers feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge frequently. This graph is a good visual representation of the findings. The negative numbers indicate a reduction in anxiety symptoms for mothers exposed to the RX Kids program. It shows that the program was associated with less anxiety across the board. Now, what does all this mean? The researchers believe that giving unconditional cash transfers during pregnancy and early infancy can indeed reduce maternal anxiety. They suggest that having this financial cushion might help mothers address immediate stressors like food or housing insecurity. This then lowers their overall stress and anxiety levels during a particularly vulnerable time. They even mentioned that mothers themselves reported feeling less worried about bills and more able to focus on their babies. It's like this: imagine you're worried about paying your rent. That worry doesn't just disappear when you give birth. It can spill over into your thoughts and feelings, making it harder to enjoy your new baby or cope with the everyday challenges of parenting. When that financial worry is eased by direct cash support, mothers can then focus their energy on more positive things. The study highlights that these kinds of upstream interventions, meaning those that address the root causes of problems like poverty, can be really powerful for improving mental health. RX Kids is seen as a way to address the structural reasons behind maternal anxiety, rather than just treating the symptoms. This is a big deal because it suggests that simple economic policies can have a significant positive impact on population health and help close health gaps. Of course, no study is perfect. The researchers point out a few limitations. One is that they approximated program exposure based on where mothers lived, so it is like an intent-to-treat estimate. Also, they only had 1 year of data before the program to compare to, so they couldn't fully test if trends would have been the same without the program. And as with any study that relies on people telling you how they feel, there is always the chance of self-reporting bias. Plus, the age of the infants might have played a role, and they couldn't perfectly account for every possible difference related to that. Despite these limitations, the overall message is clear and encouraging. Providing financial support directly to families during the critical prenatal and infant periods seems to genuinely help reduce maternal anxiety. It's a promising approach for improving maternal mental health and promoting fairness in health outcomes, especially for communities facing ongoing economic hardship. It is really interesting to see how something as seemingly simple as providing money can have such a complex and positive ripple effect on mental well-being. This research really underscores the idea that economic security and mental health are deeply intertwined, especially for new parents. What they've shown is that by tackling financial stress at its source, we might be able to make a real difference in the lives of mothers and their families. Future research, as they mention, could look at even longer-term effects, or examine these programs in different communities with varying economic situations. They also suggest looking at objective health markers, which would add even more weight to these findings. But for now, this study gives us a strong indication that unconditional cash transfers are a powerful tool for promoting maternal mental health and advancing health equity. What do you all think about this? Does it resonate with your own experiences or what you've heard about these types of programs? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Rubin's Mind Lab for more engaging science explained simply. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the fascinating world of psychology and human behavior. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.